I'm Ted McCourt, and welcome to this week's JCTV News. First in news this week, we'd like to remind everyone that next week is Valentine's Day. Got anything special planned, Jay?
Gotta get some roses sent out.
Also, we'll be having Club Day next week on the 17th, so be sure to check out your club.
There'll also be, this weekend is the regional wrestling tournament. That'll start around 8 o'clock in the morning and last, I'd say the finals will be around 8 o'clock that night. So
where will that be at, Jay?
It's here.
Here, so be sure to come support your wrestlers in the regional tournament. Also, there'll be a graduated license course next week on the 16th, and that'll be held in the library.
Now let's check out what's happening this week in sports.
Yo, this is This Week in Sports with Tanner and Jared, also known as King Herod. He will bring you lots of sports news, and I will also bring you lots of sports news. We will tell you... Hello, Johnson Central. Tanner Blevins here alongside Jared Kessner, bringing you This Week in Sports.
Hey, wait a minute. Before we begin,
Okay.
You know how I fish?
How do you fish, Jared?
See, I don't fish on the bottom, right? I fish on the top.
Yeah.
When you fish on the top, you have to use something really special. It's red and white.
What is that called again?
A floater.
Kind of like that floater Braxton Blair threw up from the middle of the lane to defeat the Magoffin County Hornets 47-45.
It's a good game.
But sadly, the boys were defeated by Hazard on this past week. What was the score of that game, Jared?
I believe it was 68-54.
It was a tough loss for the Eagles. But on Thursday, the boys will be traveling to Paintsville to take on the district rivals, the Tigers.
That's good.
The girls team had a sad week this past week, losing 2 games by double digits, Magoffin County and Morgan County. But the girls team will also take on Paintsville this week on Friday away.
Munster game.
In swimming news, the swimming regionals will be taking this place in Richmond, and somebody's defending their regional title. Who was that again?
I say that's large James Chaffins.
He really is monstrous.
He really is good, though.
Finally, we'd like to close this off with a little bit of football news. Football senior J.J. Jude signed with EKU this past week. We'd like to wish J.J. congratulations and also offer you the answer to last week's throwdown. You voted on IHA.com, and what was the results, Jared?
I believe that J.J. the football star has won it.
J.J. the football star who recently signed with Eastern.
I guess my argument wasn't good enough.
Now for this week in the throwdown. This week in the throwdown.
Ooh, throwdown.
Senior Trent Davis will take on himself in a battle of sports. Which athlete is better? Trent Davis, the football player, or the soccer player? 30 seconds on the clock, please. Go! Jared, what's your opinion?
I'd say the soccer player is pretty good. You know, he won the Golden Boot. He has scored all those goals this year for us, and he just really pulled through for
But,
the
I
team.
mean, he's already getting a lot of offers for football and kicking, and he's kicking 50-yard field goals at the beginning of the season, and he's an amazing kicker.
But he's such a great asset to the team. He can play midfield, attack. He can do whatever he wants.
But, I mean, he's one of the best kickers we've ever had.
That's true.
He can kick it so far, Jared.
I know.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. I think I'm right. I think the football player's better.
He's really good at soccer.
He is pretty good at soccer, but I think that's our time. Make sure to go to IHA.com, Johnson Central's website, to vote for who you think is the better athlete.
Hi, I'm Katie Halsey. I'm the investigative field reporter for JCTV News. I'm here today at the Johnson County Board of Education to interview Mr. Trimble on how much our school system spends on each individual student. Mr. Trimble, what factors go into determining how much our school spends on each student?
Well, there's a lot of factors that go into this. It's utility cost, the size of your building, and those type of things, and it also takes into consideration the number of employees, whether it be classified employees and also the certified employees like your teachers and administration, those type of things. How much supplies we have to purchase for those schools, and whether it be instructional supplies or custodial supplies. And then money spent on programs such as ESS, professional development, gifted and talented, etc.
How much do we spend on each student?
Well, in Johnson County this past year, we spent $9,703 per student.
How's that number changed over the past 5 years?
Well, I look back over the past 4 or 5 years, and back in 2007, 2008, We actually only spent $9,263 per student. So that's a gain of almost $450. But I looked at last year's, and we spent $10,741 per student. So that's over $1,000 less per student than we did for this year, and which is a little bit alarming for us. That's a lot of money for the entire district to spend less on students.
Yeah, how do you expect this number to change in the next 5 years?
Well, we kind of have to look at the biennium that's coming up the next 2 years, and the budget is already showing less money coming out of the SEEK monies from the state, and that is state monies they send per student. And looking at the graphs, and if it goes along with the governor's budget, we'll be making as much money in SEEK per student next year as we did in 2007 and 2008. So it really has gone down. We got a lot less money per student for our district, and again, we looked at the statistics there this year, and in 2011, 2012, the SEEK formula gave us $3,903 per student. Okay, and then in 2000 prediction and the governor's budget for 2012 and 2013 is only $3,833 per student, and in 2013, 2014, $3,827 per student. So it continues to go down, and we're having less and less money for our students, for our programs in our school district, and it's making it very difficult for not just Johnson County schools, but schools throughout the state.
Well, even with less money, I think we're doing a really good job, spending what we do on our students.
Well, there was a national report that came out, and that showed Johnson County schools being one of the best schools in the nation on using the money wisely for our school districts. And we've got an outstanding Johnson County Board of Education and our staff here in the board office that work really hard to utilize the money for what's best for the students. And I think we've done a good job of that. And we try not to waste any money, and we work very hard just to pick out the things that we feel like is the most important for our kids, and spend the money on those things. And so we don't have a lot of fluff, we don't have a lot of waste, but we do feel like we continue to keep the programs in place that are effective and are important to our students. But as time goes on, it's going to get harder and harder to do that, and as less money comes in, we have to look at maybe cutting some of those programs, and we sure do not want to do that.
Well, I think you're doing an excellent job with your decisions that you're making, and I know that most of the other students at the school agree, so we'd just like to thank you for your time with us.
Thank you very much. And one other factor that plays into our funding here in our school system is taxes, local taxes. And Johnson County Schools there's only 4 school districts in the state that has lower taxes rate than what we do. And so that's something to be proud of. Our rate is 36 cents per every $100. And again, there's only 4 others with less tax rate than what we've got. So, our board hates to raise taxes on our community. We know it's a tough economic times, and so we've been able to maintain these programs and keep a very effective school system, even though we've kept our taxes low. And so I think our community should be proud of that, and proud of our board for being able to do that.
Well, let's see if there's going to be any colder weather this week. What do you got, Billy and Hannah?
Hello, I'm Hannah Fitzpatrick.
And I'm Billy Montgomery.
And you're watching JCTV's Weather and Tip of the Week. For Thursday, February 9th, highs will be around 43 and lows around 20, and it'll be partly cloudy. For Friday, February 10th, highs will be around 44 and lows around 26, and it'll be mostly cloudy. For Saturday, February 11th, highs will be around 34 and lows around 19, and it'll be cloudy. For Sunday, February 12th, highs will be around 34 and lows around 17, and it'll be partly cloudy. Now, Billy, what's your tip of the week?
Oh, I have a good tip, Hannah. If you don't have enough sense to keep out of the cold, at least put on a jacket.
That's a really good tip, Billy. I don't think some people got enough sense to get out of the cold.
You and me both think that.
Well, that was your tip of the week.
Well, back to you, JJ.
Now let's see what's going on in state and local news with BJ Blackburn.
Hi, I'm BJ Blackburn. For this week in state and local news, a grandmother convicted of the death of her grandson in November has asked for a new trial. In other news, a student at Murray State University has been charged for having multiple kinds of explosives located in his dormitory. That's all for this week. Now back to you, Ted and JJ.
Now let's go to This Week in History with John Rowland.
Hi, John Rowland here again for this week's international news and This Week in History. For This Week in History, we are headlined by the first leak of lethal gas, as opposed to other methods of execution, which occurred on February 9th, 1924. And also on February 9th, 1992, Magic Johnson returns for the NBA All-Star Game. And for your update on world news, as part of your update on the sunken Costa Concordia, the Italian cruise ship captain is ordered to house arrest. And that's all for this week. Now back to Ted and JJ.
Thanks, John.
Well, I heard there's a pretty bright school spotlight going on. Let's see what's going on over there.
Hello, Johnson Central. Tanner Blevins here with the school spotlight. The Johnson Central School Spotlight here from courtesy of Misty Cox. It's a nice blue spotlight, and the only thing really left to do is just, test it out, see how it works. Let's see. Well, it seems to be a real bright spotlight. I believe it has a few different colors on it, Maybe it's got a nice green tint if you're looking for a green spotlight, or just a classic spotlight. It's real bright, and I can't really see much with the school spotlight here, but that's really all I can give you. So I'll just go ahead and kick it back to you, Ted and JJ.
Oh God, Ted! I believe there's a fire.
What's with all these messages? God. Let's see, Billy, Andy. Boya just messaged me, and I think I better
Seth, what's I said everybody needs to be doing their work. You know what my rule is on sleeping in this class? Stop! What are you doing out there? Go! I got it!
Well, now that we're not burnt, let's see what's going on with the other spotlight. What's going on over there, Ted?
Well, Big Al Chandler asked a couple seniors about how Johnson Central has inspired them. What do you got for us, Big Al?
Hello, JCTV. This is Big Al here with another exciting episode of JCTV Spotlight. I'm here with Cole Ray and James Douglas Saylor. We're going to talk about their life after they graduate. Okay, James, you first. As being a senior now at Johnson Central High School, what was your plans as a freshman going that you thought you were gonna graduate and go into?
I was actually planning on becoming an attorney.
An attorney?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have a certain business that, like, were you gonna stay in Kentucky for that or go out?
I was planning on moving to Lexington.
Why Lexington?
It's rated by a magazine as one of the best places for business in the United States. So that impressed me. It's one of the only places in Kentucky that's large enough to have like a lot of businesses.
Okay, so since you said was going to be an attorney, that means you're not going to be now, right?
Definitely.
Okay. What have you changed it to?
Software engineer.
Software engineering, okay. So I guess you're in help desk with Robinson. You're in like computer apps. What are you taking right now that's helped you make that decision?
I'm currently taking advanced placement computer programming, advanced networking, advanced web design, and help desk, which helps me with the practical aspect of it.
So do you actually have any real classes your senior year?
I have the programming is in an AP class, which we test out of it and try to get college credit for it. I have advanced placement calculus with Ms. Watson every fourth period for 2 hours a day.
I bet that's fun.
Advanced placement literature with Amy Webb.
All right. What are you going to be?
Well, originally, from freshman year to about 3 months ago, I was wanting to become a electrical engineer along with computer engineering and also majoring in business administration. This would mean I'd be triple majoring in college. But I now have changed it just to major in mathematics and get my PhD in that.
Xavier, being a junior now, you have one less year on these two, but you still what opportunities do you see for yourself after you graduate? What do you want to be when you grow up, basically?
Well, hopefully, when I enter college, I'll be majoring in counseling, to become a marriage counselor or a school counselor, to do something to help with people's lives, to help them become better people in society.
Okay, so your freshman year, did you want to be a counselor then too?
Gosh, no.
What did you want to be?
To be honest,
yeah.
I want to be a football player.
You want to be NFL football player?
Oh God, yeah.
So what team did you want to play for?
Philadelphia Eagles.
Do you already have a scholarship to UK, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes.
Okay, is it a full ride?
Yeah, I received the presidential scholarship, which is a full tuition for 4 years.
Oh.
How'd you get that?
I participated in the Governor Scholar Program this summer, and it is automatically awarded to me if I have above a 28 on the ACT.
Okay, so to future people that are watching that might want to take that, what does it consist of?
Which
the Governor's?
The Governor Scholar? Yeah. It's a 5-week program that you will attend at one of 3 universities, and it's really more of a social and academic program. It's just
what 3 universities can you attend to?
It varies each year. This year it was Center College.
Moorhead?
No, Moorhead has been one prior years, but not
So it's just, is it regional schools?
It's state.
Yeah, you have Murray State.
Murray Center and
Murray Center.
So did you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's all right.
It wasn't Bellarmine.
Bellarmine, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so going there, did that affect what you? When did you do this?
This past summer.
This past summer, yes. So junior into senior.
Yeah.
When did you say you changed your career major?
Probably the beginning of junior year.
Okay, and what made you want to change that?
I had trouble deciding upon an actual major for high school. I flip-flopped from business to health.
Just like everybody does.
Yeah.
It's easy.
And then I decided finally to go with computers because I actually enjoy working on them, so I figured I would actually study those. I had 3 classes with Mr. Robinson my junior year: Computer Core Essentials, networking, and advanced or AP, or what is it? The A+ Comp Sci.
A+ Comp Sci.
Yeah. And between those 3, I discovered my passion for computers.
Well, that's good. Now, what made you decide your change? I know.
Well, I had engineering classes with Mickey Burkett, but he retired, and this year it's kind of got me thinking I'm really not a designer, so that's what engineering is all about.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not for me.
Okay, so if you two could help the underclassmen out and give them some words of advice, what would you tell them? If anything.
Do what you like to do.
And don't get stressed out about picking a major because you will flip-flop.
Yeah, I mean, most college students are going to change their major like at least 2 or 3 times.
Your first 2 years of college is general education, which provides you a lot of time to discover what you enjoy.
Yeah.
So
you really don't have to pick a major until like your sophomore or junior year of college.
Yeah. Well, that ain't bad. Then at least you have an idea of what you want to go to. in high school, and then once you get there, you can actually decide.
Yeah, experiment. See what you like, see what you don't like.
And they keep those grades up, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of influences in college. I mean, people are gonna change you. It depends where you go to.
Yeah.
Like if you go to UK, it's a really good engineering school, so you might be influenced to do engineering.
Yeah, toward engineering. Okay.
The best advice I've ever heard to do with picking a career and a college major is if you do something you enjoy, you will never work an actual day.
That's true, because it don't feel like work if you like it.
Miss Purvis, you won Teacher of the Week. How you feel about that?
I feel very honored and privileged.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why students voted for me, but
because you're an amazing teacher, apparently.
I guess.
You make any types of jokes?
I don't know. I've never really sat and thought about if I make jokes or not. Do you think I make jokes in class?
A little bit.
I feel like I'm pretty hateful in class sometimes.
That's only because you're pregnant.
That's what they tell me.
Mm-hmm. So, are you having a boy or a girl?
I don't know yet. I don't find out for several more weeks.
Have you gotten their names figured out yet?
I do. If it's a boy, I'm going to name him Isaiah Joseph Purvis. And if it's a girl, I'm going to name her Hannah Grace Purvis.
Those are both pretty names.
Thanks.
Well, what kind of subjects do you teach?
I teach Algebra 2 and Geometry.
How many classes?
I have 3 Algebra 2 classes and 2 Geometry classes.
How many years have you been teaching?
This is about a year and a half.
Do you have any animals at the house? Or?
I do. I have 2 dogs.
No names?
Pumper and Millie.
Like a gas pump?
Like a gas pump.
Okay. I don't know what else to ask. Skittles or M&Ms?
M&Ms, definitely.
At any other schools before?
I have. Before I came here, I taught at Pike Central for half of a year.
How'd you like it there?
It was pretty nice, but I wanted to be closer to home, so this is home.
How are you liking Johnson Central?
I like it really well.
Are you active in any type of after-school activities or anything?
I do after-school tutoring for math on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3:30 to 4:30.
Okay.
You should come, Angel.
Yeah, I know. Congratulations, Miss Purvey. You won Teacher of the Week.
Thanks, Angel.
And also, we'd like to remind anyone who's going to be interested in being in this PEP section for the district tournament, which will be the 20th through the 26th. To look around schools, we'll be putting up some posters to tell y'all what the spirit section theme will be. Well, that's all for news this week. I'm Ted McCourt.
And I'm JJ Jude. Remember, go Eagles.
And you stay classy, Johnson Central.
Oh my God, am I going to be JCTV?
Yes.